Hello, welcome back to the channel, and today, as you can see, we are playing the Sentinel on the aesthetic spectrum. So hopefully this video works, as I've had lots of tries and it just seems to be cursed. So fingers crossed. So what is the Sentinel? Well, basically it's an Azorba map like Archipelagos, which is, I knew there was something similar, and of course it's this. They're not exactly the same by any means, but they're both excellent games. And well, what do you do in the Sentinel? Well, in the Sentinel, you have to get above the Sentinel and absorb him. How do you do that? You do that by absorbing trees to get energy, then creating boulders to put a copy of yourself which you transfer to. And once you're above, you absorb the Sentinel and then win. On later levels, there are sentries, which are like mini Sentinels, and also the Sentinel can turn trees near you if he can't see you properly into meanies, which I've never seen. I've never got that far. So this was actually created on the BBC Micro by Jeff Crammond. He also wrote the conversion for the Commodore 64, which is, I'm sure for most of you know, Jeff Crammond is famous for his racing games, and I think this is the only non-racing game he did or has done at this point. And this version was done by Software Creations and programmed, I believe, by Tim Holland. I assume. I'm not sure if he's the brother or is the musician, but anyway. So let's press Kempston. So this is a full 3D solid polygon game. It's quite smooth, although it does have like sort of stepped scrolling, so we should say. So it has random landscapes, and when you finish a level it gives you a seed, which I believe is randomly generated to an extent. So there can be difficulty spikes, I believe, but I never got very far in this. It was just too tense for me when I played it when it came out, and incredibly I still find it pretty tense once I get playing. So let's play it, put 0, and in we go. So move around with a cursor on the controller, well, in my case, or the joystick would have been then. And you can see here, this is the landscape, and in the front, slightly to the left, you can see the Sentinel. So it gives you a bit to plan for. I think perhaps on the 16 bits, this is a bit clearer and a bit easier to see. So let's go. So I'm not really going to play properly, as I still find it quite tense and hard to talk. So there we are, moving about. So you can see those trees above us. We can't absorb them because we're not high enough. You can see the step scrolling. It's nice and smooth, but this slow scrolling does make it tense. I think if it was quick and smooth scrolling, you would lose a lot of the game. So I'm assuming the 16-bit versions have the same scrolling. Here we are, here's a tree. But, right. Let's get them right. There we are. Now I can see the square it's on, and then press A for absorb. So I've got another energy. You can see in the top left, I've got 3 robots and 1 boulder's worth of energy. So the boulders are worth 3, and the robots, which are sort of copies of yourself you use to transport about, are 3 energy. And trees are all 1 energy. And you can hear the Sentinel turning around with that noise, and when he sees us, he'll start absorbing us. So don't want that to happen, but it probably will. So let's just quickly make some boulders. Let's put the cursor on. So I believe you can absorb boulders and your copies from anywhere. You don't have to be above them. Let's put another boulder. Let's put another copy of me, and let's transfer. I wonder how high we are. Oh, transfer. Ah, Q. Oh, I can't do it for some reason. That's not. Oh, there we are. Have to be on the boulder. Seems a bit weird, but never mind. Now I'm probably going to get seen by the Sentinel as he turns around, but let's get a view of him. It may be on this map you can just make... No, I've used all my energy, so I still need to do more to get above him. Oh, there he is. So we're nearly there. I mean, this level isn't too difficult. And I assume he rotates on a certain time. But... Come on. Turn. I want to see what happens when he looks at us. There we are. Oh, is that a smiley face almost? I never noticed that before. And you can see we've got no boulders or anything. He's just... I think it's just going to absorb us. Yes, there we go. And so we lose. But that level isn't too hard, but it's still definitely quite stressful to play it properly. Nice little tune there. So, is it still worth playing? I think definitely. I think this is still a classic game. It just works perfectly. The slow movement just works with the game. And yeah, I think perhaps the 16-bit versions, perhaps with mouse and the clearer map at the beginning, are perhaps the versions to play. I've not played them, but I think there was also a PlayStation version called the Sentinel Returns, but I can't remember anything about it. I never played it, so I must give that a look. But anyway, there we go. Worth playing, definitely. This is just one of those classics, I think. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time.